And I have a few choice verses this morning from the Chaitanya Charitamrita and the Brihad Bhagavatamrita about the importance and potency of chanting Hare Krishna. If all else fails, and it will, chant Hare Krishna. If it seems as if the world's going sideways, it is, but the only way to cope with it or to right any situation is ultimately to rise above the three modes of material nature. And the only surefire way of doing that is by chanting Hare Krishna. The ultimate message of the Bhagavad Gita is that one must perform yajna in order to be well situated in this world and to go back home, back to Godhead. And the only yajna prescribed in the age of Kali Yuga is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So everyone who's joined the Japa circle is well situated in proper yajna, lined with, backed by the Shastra. And for those who struggle with their own natures, anyone? Here's a verse for you. I think you'll be encouraged by this. Simply, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 20.11 in the chapter entitled the Shikshashtakam. And this is a single verse with no purport. Simply, by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. There's a lot in that verse, so I'm just going to read it one more time before we start chanting. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. Can I get a jai? This, a little louder. That was medium. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. Little above medium. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. From the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 20.11. So, if we take a second to, here, come sit on that side. Set our sankalpa, just to take 10 seconds, 30 seconds to introspect and set your sankalpa. Why are you chanting? And then take a second to feel yourself completely helpless at the mercy of Lord Krishna. We can't even breathe without him. And then we'll begin chanting. Ready? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama
Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Krishna Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, 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 Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Ram 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 Ram.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare. Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Om
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna. Anybody need an attitude lift? Yes, lift your attitude. 1, 2, 3, lift. Okay, so here, so much of our progress has to do with our attitude, and it's easy to get pushed down by the 3 modes of material nature. And so the way to rise above it is by chanting Hare Krishna. And I'm going to repeat the first verse that came from the Antya Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. That's what everybody's talking about and preparing for. How can I overcome? There's millions of self-help. There's so many books, courses, psychology, majors, everything. How can I overcome undesirable habits? But this one process, chanting Hare Krishna, is the way to rise above it, correct? Yes. Who can prove it? With Shastra. Give me Sanskrit. Why does it work? Because we're not blind followers. We need evidence. Yes, Prabhu. Please give him the mic. Mic. Quick.
Check. Vishaya vini vartante niraharasya dehina rasa varjam rashaparam drishtva nivartate. Okay, loose translation. Though we may be still attached to sense gratification, even while following discipline, by getting a higher taste, we will become fixed in consciousness.
Bravo. Well done. One more? Yes?
So there's a verse in second canto, 8th chapter, I guess. It says, Pravishta karna randhrena swanamo bhava sararuham dhunati shamalam Krishna salilasi yathasharat. So when the name of Krishna enters into our ear and goes inside our heart, all the misgivings of our heart, that goes away. Just like when autumnal rains falls on the pond, all the muddy water gets cleared.
Bravo. One from Divinity and Divine Service that proves the same point, please. Anushrie's got it. Vasudevi. Vasudevi Bhagavati.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayagnya Suvairagyam Gyanam Chaya Dahaitukam.
Can you give a little explanation? Call a friend. Lifeline.
By engaging in devotional service, you automatically get knowledge and detachment.
Yeah. Would that qualify to explain how you rise above bad habits?
Yes.
Okay, well, we have some preliminary evidence from the Shastra why this works. And the rest of the verse says, this is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. Who wants to initiate the flow of waves of love for Krishna? That's where you raise your hand really fast. And who wants to have the awakening of all good fortune? Pretty slow on the hands. Who wants to have the awakening of all good fortune? That's all you have to do is raise your hand fast. So who can say something about the awakening of good fortune? Why does it, according to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava students, what is it about chanting Hare Krishna that awakens good fortune, according to Rupa Goswami? Auspiciousness. Go ahead, Malini. Shubhada. What happens? What's the mechanism behind it? We're not blind followers.
Rupa Goswami says, Shubhada, devotional service is all auspicious. So similarly, chanting of the holy names brings that, is a beginning of that auspiciousness.
Give me Sanskrit, please, to back the, why does he say Shubhada? Why is it, what happens? What's the mechanics? Ananda, go ahead. He's got it. He's got a smile on his face. You could speak up. Ananda Prabhu, go ahead.
Oh, yes, true. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, tell us.
5:18-12, it says, Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarver gunais tatra samasate sura harava bhaktas kuto mahad guna manorathe nasti davato bahi. So Rupa Goswami substantiates substantiates the quality that devotional service is all auspicious by this verse, which means that Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana. So all the qualities of the demigods come in a devotee. And then he says, even if a person has all the good qualities, what is the use? Because they are riding on the chariot of the mind.
Yeah, so that verse 5:18-12, the overture of 5:18-12, it proves that point. And Malini thought of the other verse just now. Aprarabdha palam papam. Please say it.
Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam.
Give Zafu. Quick. Okay.
Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam
Palonmukham.
palonmukham. So by
Okay, go ahead.
So by performing devotional service, then all the sinful reactions are destroyed, even the one which are just sprouting, which were already sprouted, things like that.
Aparabdha palam papam kutam bijam palon mukham Kraminaiva praliyante Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. Perfect. So these two verses, Rupa Goswami explains why we get all auspiciousness in our lives by chanting Hare Krishna, because Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. If you worship Vishnu, Krishna, then all the karma from your previous lives is destroyed, and even your prarabdha karma, the present karma that you have in this body, becomes destroyed. And we just need one more verse to complete it from Rupa Goswami's Namashtakam that says that even the prarabdha karma is destroyed when you chant Hare Krishna. Go ahead. It's okay. Whether you take it from this hard drive or that one. Yad Brahma Sakshat Krita Nishchayapi. Go ahead. Somebody who knows it, say it.
Yad Brahma Sakshat Kriti Nishtayapi Vinashamayati Vinana Bhogai Apaiti Nama Spuranina Tatte Prarabdha Karma iti Viroti Vedaha.
Bravo. Explanation, please.
Yad Brahma Sakshat Kriti Nishtayapi. So, I can't remember.
If you meditate on Brahman and you have a process of in Gyan, then you may become freed from karma after some time, but you still have to suffer or enjoy the results of your prarabdha karma. But when Krishna appears in the form of his name, then all karma is destroyed, including prarabdha karma, as proved in Aho Bhatashva Pachato Gariyanya Jiva Grevartate Namatubhyam. So there are hundreds of verses, thousands, that prove this statement of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, which we'll read one more time. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribol. So let's chant for a little while longer.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Oh,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
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 Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We have just a few minutes left, so let's take a few reflections. Just one thing that you're taking away from the Japa circle for today. Yes. Bhavani Bhakti needs a mic.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. I was thinking, like when you started the Japa circle, you talked about feeling of helplessness. During today's Japa, I was really feeling helpless, and I almost felt like the wooden puppet that Prabhupada talks about. And if you are a wooden puppet, what can you really do? Like, you are just under the control. And then I was thinking, if I am a puppet, then what should be my prayers for Krishna? And then the mantra itself reminded me that the prayer should be to engage me in devotional service. I was reflecting on my recent situations in life, and where I did a lot of plans, great things for myself, and it didn't happen the way I wanted, but something else happened. And then I was thinking, it's the way of Krishna doing things in my life which will help me actually to progress more in my devotional service. So I was really thankful for that, and thankful for your association for chanting and all the exalted devotees here for.
Haribol. Thank you very much. It reminds us of Srila Prabhupada's prayers on the Jaladuta.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
This is my first time chanting in the temple.
Haribol.
So I've tried this at home, of course, but I do feel that here it felt like gateways opened, and you have this energy kind of propelling you towards Krishna. So it was a very, very liberating experience for me.
We're so enlivened to have you here for your first time. Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Haribol. One takeaway. We just have a couple minutes left. Hansapriya.
So I think my takeaway is every morning it's the same routine, that mind runs a million things to-do list. And my takeaway is that this is a very important key for me to invest in myself, is just one sitting chanting. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Hansapriya. Haribol. It's so easy for the mind and the Rajagun to move on and think that I'll be more efficient if I just go do my work, or even if it's service, I'll finish my service. And then to put aside the chanting of the holy name gradually, and then pretty soon there's no more anything. It's hard to do service, it's hard to remember why I'm doing service and so forth. So it's important to remember that always our prime duty is to have good japa. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, don't try to be a great devotee, just try to be a good devotee. However, we should try to chant great japa. Be a good devotee, but chant great japa. And that's why we have Make Japa Great Again. And so if we try to do that every day, even if we don't succeed, if we try to rise to the occasion and make our japa great, then everything else in our life will be good. Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai. Vanchakalpatarusha Kripasinda